everyone. I am so excited. It's almost the 23rd and we're going to be starting Lean in 13. This is amazing. Remember, the most important thing is we're trying to teach you to be coaches. Don't mind my little earbuds here, but it's so that you can hear me and I don't have to scream. So, one of the most important things, make sure you're watching all of those awesome videos and the files and reading everything, because all of the incredible coaches that are in the All In 2.0, they're doing it for your benefit, because the main purpose of what we're doing is to try to help everyone be the most amazing coach that you can be. Because let's face it, that's how we build a relationship with people, that's how they refer us to other people, and that's how we get them to become business builders when they are just exploding with excitement about their results. So I'm going to do this as if you are all my challenger, and I want you to set up your appointments this weekend and make sure you go over this with every single person who you have committed to coach through Lean in 13, so that when Monday rolls around, they are ready to go. So let's get started. All right, first thing, let's make sure we have all the products. So in front of you, please make sure you have your Spark or your Slam, Muscle Gain, M&S3, Catalyst and Thermo Plus, meal replacement shakes. I think I got them all, okay? So have all your products in front of you, and the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go over day 1, only day 1, because day 1, 2, and 3 are exactly the same. We're going to get back on the phone on the night of day 3, and we're going to go over day 4, because day 4 changes a little bit and I want to make sure that you understand it. But don't worry about memorizing everything, okay? We're just going to focus on day 1. Okay, so very first thing when you wake up in the morning of day 1, you're going to have a Spark. Mix it with 8 ounces of water. It's delicious. This is my midlife miracle. You can call it Happy Mommy Juice, call it whatever you want, but this is how I start my day. And at the same time, I want you to take 1 Thermo Plus and 3 to 4 Catalyst. I take 4 to 5, 6, but I do a lot of lifting, so a serving of Catalyst, a serving of Thermo Plus, and a Spark. That's how you're going to start your day. In addition to that, in your M&S3 box, if you open it up and you take out one of the strips, you're going to notice that on the strips you have on one side words and yellow and white, and on the other side you can see the pills. So on the very top where you see the words, if you can read it, it says take 30 minutes before your breakfast. So that very first packet, every single pill in that packet, I want you to take with your Spark, your Catalyst, and your Thermo Plus. Okay, got it? Awesome. Okay, so now, really, really important, within 30 minutes, I want you to have your breakfast. And breakfast is a meal replacement shake. Mix it with water. Don't add anything else. Don't add fruit, because this is the perfect blend of carbs and protein. 24 carbs, 24 protein. Now, a lot of people say to me, I don't want a shake for breakfast. Okay, awesome, not a problem, because guess what? 24 grams of carbs, 24 grams of protein. Half a cup of oatmeal measured dry. Mix it with a cup of water and have 4 egg whites or 2 whole eggs. Don't add sugar, okay? Season it with whatever you want to season it with. Throw some cinnamon in there. I actually like it with cracked black pepper. Sounds weird, but it gives it a kick. But that's okay. You don't have to have a shake for breakfast as long as you have 24 grams of carbs, 24 grams of protein. Awesome recipes out there for sweet potato pancakes, oatmeal pancakes, you name it, that has your carb, has your protein, and it's perfectly satisfying, okay? So that's how you're going to start your morning. Really, really important. Before I get to that, I'm sorry. The next packet in your M&S3 says take 30 minutes before lunch. Skip that one. Hang on to that. Take it with you for your day, because you're going to need that later. But the last two take, say, with breakfast or lunch. I want you to take both of these right after you have your breakfast. That way you have 1 packet left to remember for the rest of the day. Makes life so much easier, okay? So 30 minutes before breakfast, take these 2 after you eat. This one goes with you for the day. Throw it in with your lunch. All right. 2 to 4. 2 to 4 hours. Remember that. 2 to 4 hours after you have breakfast, I want you to have your snack. A snack is 1/4 cup of raw unsalted almonds would be a perfect snack. Okay, about 15 to 18 raw unsalted almonds. 2 to 4 hours later, you're going to eat again. Again, don't go over 4 hours. When you go over 4 hours, your metabolism goes into fat storing mode, not fat burning mode, but fat storing mode, because it's going into starvation mode. So feed it, okay? And it's really important you don't go longer than an hour after you wake up, preferably 30 to 45 minutes to have that breakfast, because again, ignite the fat burning process. Really, really important. So, third meal of the day, you've had breakfast, you've had your snack, now you're going to eat. You're going to have a lean source of protein and a vegetable. Okay, we've got the list, we've given it, we've posted it. I posted my cheat sheet that I use. You come up with what works for you, but it lists lean sources of protein. Women get a scale, men get a scale, a food scale, not a weight scale. I'm not talking about a food scale. Weigh your protein, 4 ounces, not 4.1 or 2, 4 ounces. Okay, again, if you're into fitness and you're, big into weightlifting and everything else, I mean, I do this myself. You know what you need. This is for the average person, all right? Men, unless you're like really, really pushing it and you're really into fitness and you're like 6 feet tall or something like that, 5 ounces is about the max you need. You don't need the 6 ounces. So go with the 4 ounces of protein and a cup of vegetables, okay? That's 2 to 4 hours after your snack. But 30 minutes before that, I want you to have that strip right there, the second one that says take 30 minutes before lunch. Okay, 30 minutes before lunch. Now, sometimes, and we all know this, sometimes we hear people say, I can't remember that. Well, take it 5 minutes before, work your way up to 15 minutes before, get in the habit and get yourself up to 30 minutes before. Okay, it's just about creating change and habit. 2 to 4 hours after that, yum, muscle gain. Protein for your muscles. This is incredible. Mix it with water, 1 serving, 2 scoops. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Vanilla, chocolate, whatever you guys got, that's what you want to have, because that's going to feed your muscles. Now, some people might want to have a second serving of Catalyst. I do. I have it like 3 times a day. But as long as you're having this in the morning, if you don't want to do it twice a day, that's totally up to you. But a second serving of Catalyst, about 15 minutes or in between meals, in between your lunch and your meal muscle gain, perfect. Empty stomach is key an hour after you ate, because branched chain amino acids will attach to food and then you're basically wasting your money, okay? So in between meals is Catalyst, or empty stomach. 2 to 4 hours after you have your muscle gain, you're going to have another lean source of protein and a vegetable, okay? So that has pretty much covered your first day. And by doing day 1, that covers day 2, that covers day 3. We don't change anything until we get to day 4. Now, I ask all my challengers, please do not do this. I can't do this for 3,000 people. But I ask them all, please send me a journal at the end of day 1 and send me what you ate, what time you ate it, how much you ate, and when you took your supplements. Because that's how I know if I led anybody to misunderstand me. I mean, we really also know that this is just a big change for people. So I get to tweak things and make sure that day 2 is perfect. And if day 2 is still not quite right, I ask for, or day 1 was really off, I ask for a journal on day 2. But most people on day 1, it's just slight tweaking here and there, and it makes their challenge experience so much better. So again, get together with all your challengers. Make sure they have their products in front of them. Do not do this when they're driving, drop their kids off, or they're in the middle of doing something where they're not focused, because they're not going to hear what you're saying and it's going to be overwhelming and the quality of the coaching experience is gone. Schedule a time where they're in front of their products, they can ask you questions and answer their questions, okay? And then let them know that you're going to follow up with them on the night of day 3 so that you can tell them what to do for day 4, because day 4 is where they get to add a piece of fruit and they get to add healthy complex carbs. But we don't want to overwhelm them with information. So day 1, day 2, day 3, exactly the same. I then say to them, can you just go over day 1 for me so I can just make sure I didn't miss anything? Okay, so really important is you want them to say, okay, so I'm going to wake up in the morning, have my Spark, and with my Spark, I'm going to have my Thermo Plus, my Catalyst, and my first M&S packet. Awesome. 20 minutes, 30 minutes later max, I'm going to have my breakfast, which is a meal replacement shake, or I can have a half a cup of oatmeal measured dry with a cup of water mixed in, and 4 egg whites or 2 whole eggs. Perfect, you're doing awesome. Okay, so 2 to 4 hours later, I'm gonna have my snack, which is a 1/4 cup of raw and salted almonds. Perfect. 2 to 4 hours later, I'm going to have 4 ounces of a lean protein and I'm going to have a vegetable, not one or the other. Same thing with breakfast. You'll hear people say a lot, oh, I'm going to just have oatmeal. It's got to be protein and it has to be a carb. It cannot be one or the other. It has to be both. That's why the shake is so easy. And then you want to hear them say 2 to 4 hours after lunch, you want to make sure that they say they're going to take their M&S before lunch, and that 2 hours after lunch or 3 hours or whatever after lunch, they're going to have muscle gain, and they're going to have a lean protein and a vegetable one more time. So water, really important. Take their body weight, divide by 2. That's how many ounces they should drink. So if they weigh 200 pounds, they should be drinking 100 ounces of water every single day. Okay? Encourage them to exercise, obviously. Exercise is so key. But remind them that 70% of what happens in the gym happens right here first. So if they're not following it and they just work out, it's not going to work. Okay? So tell people to weigh in the morning of day 1 on the same scale, wearing the same nothing or whatever they want to do. And then the morning of day 4, I ask people to weigh in again. And there's a reason for that, because I can tell how their body's responding, and I can tell if maybe they're not quite following it the way they should, because they should drop a couple pounds in the first 3 days of the burning phase, okay? And then I don't ask them to weigh in again until they get to the morning of day 8. So I hope this is helpful. I'm very excited. Please coach people to the best of your ability. I will do my best. We will all do our best to answer your questions, but there's like 3,000 people and I don't know how many are doing Lean in 13, but trying to get to everybody as fast as we can. I hope this video is really helpful. It helps bring clarity to what you're doing. Monday morning, oh my gosh, I am so excited because I live this anyway, but Monday morning, just wake up so excited, and send your challengers all a reminder. Day 1, and just text it out for them so that they see it with a little inspirational quote. I do that every single day. And if I happen to miss one, my gosh, they're like, where's my inspirational quote? I mean, it builds a relationship, and that's what this is all about. Okay. So take on the day, have an awesome weekend. We're going to just kill this. And then when April 6th rolls around and we launch the All-In 2.0 24-day challenge, you're going to be in such incredible shape and feeling amazing. You're probably going to put some of them on Lean in 13 from the nutrition plan while they do the 10-day cleanse, but we'll talk about that later. All right. Have a blessed day, everybody.